Oh,
Yeah. So, very good evening, one and all. After a short gap, like I'm back again. And today for
mm-hmm.
a lovely show, OCTs on the coffee table. Here with us, a special guest, the fashion designer, a teacher, a senior lecturer, and a social activist. And what else I should say about her? It's none other than FarahDeeba, and a woman fighter from Bangladesh. Yeah, Deepa. Good evening.
Hello, Chris. Good evening, Chris, and thank you for the invitation. It's
All
a
right.
great honor for me to be on your show.
So happy to welcome you to India now.
Uh, I wish I could go there now. I wish. Let's
Oh,
see. Let's hope
good.
for things to get better, and then I'm gonna, for sure.
All right.
I'll do
Okay.
it in fact.
So for the new audience, like who are looking out for the for your talk show, it would be good,
Hmm.
like if you give a little introduction about yourself. So what
Okay.
is the things you do? Who is Farah first of all? Who is Farah?
Well, I'm a fashion designer. That's what I would love to say. That's my
All right.
passion, and everything
All right.
started from there.
Okay.
Then, beside that, I'm a beautician, and I started really early
Mhm.
during teenage. That's when I started to
Okay.
work and I started to design, and
Hmm.
things started to fall in place. And that is how where I am now. If I say that in a short, you know, in a short
Okay.
note. Yeah.
All right. So, what made you like come into fashion industry? Like, what was your inspiration?
Okay. Well, I was very much inspired by my mom. She was very
Hmm.
inspiring, and she was quite fashionable. And
Okay.
I'm also into social work for the last few years, very much into it. Though I had an interest, but I couldn't do it in a large scale. But now I do it better than how I used to do. Step by step.
All right. It's
It's
all
a baby.
comes with experience. It all comes with an experience.
So
Okay.
my mom used to do a lot of social work at an
Hmm.
individual level.
All
So
right. Right.
yeah, so that also shaped towards whatever I wanted to do in future. That shaped.
Hmm.
It took time. It took time, and it shaped. And
All
yeah,
right.
I got motivated and inspired by my mom when she was alive.
Hmm.
She passed away, unfortunately,
Okay.
when I was a teenage. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
All right. So anyway, her experiences and her blessings are always with you. So things are
Thank you.
falling on the right place, on the right time, to the right people as well, isn't it? All right.
So it,
So,
yeah,
like what is can you I mean, detail a little brief about sustainable fashion? What is
yeah.
sustainable fashion?
Well, uh, see, we see that these days it's all about SDG, and sustainable fashion is eco-friendly fashion.
Hmm.
That's what we
Hmm.
talk about. See, there are a lot of wastage, fabric wastage, and you know how the environment is suffering. So
Right.
if we contribute from our individual level, if we move to a sustainable design, sustainable fashion, that way
Hmm.
we're gonna last longer. It's gonna
All right.
last in the long run. It's gonna we can make it, and
Hmm.
and we see there's a lot of wastage there. So when I entered into designing, I was like, okay, I need to work with the artisans because you know how that industry is, the woven
All right.
industry, the
Hmm.
artisans. It's almost dying. Day by day it's just declining. So the designers need to come up and work with them to promote them so that they can earn a living out of that. And
All right.
see, that's also sustainability. That's like a chain out there.
It's
So
kind of a collective work.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's when it can strike me like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna promote
Hmm.
fabric from my country, and I'm gonna work for sustainable fashion, and I'm
Hmm.
gonna blend, create a fusion so that it creates a different kind of interest among people from different genre, different
Hmm.
culture, different countries. For instance, a foreigner might not wear a sari, in a daily basis, but uh,
All right.
that same person when goes to beach can carry a beach, a beach wrap or a beautiful beach dress, that's being woven, maybe made out of very fine jamdani. You know about jamdani. It can be
Mm-hmm.
made jamdani. It can be made of any other materials, very fancy and beautiful, colorful materials,
Yeah.
woven
Right.
one.
Right.
So that's how we can interpret, sustainability, the sustainable fashion into the main industry. It have to start from some point. Then we can interpret it through jewelry designs. Like I
Mm-hmm.
do recycled. I use the recycled fabrics. That's a leftover or waste fabric, whatever is. I use that
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
my collections. I use that to
Okay.
design jewelries. Yeah, that's how I try to introduce that into my work.
Okay.
And
So what I
what,
understand is, you recycle the materials, isn't it?
yeah,
The
that
used
I do.
cloths and stuffs. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So you
and the
recycle it and you
leftover,
make it new. You make it
yeah,
new.
yeah, and the leftover ones, the
Okay.
waste one, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
unused and leftover ones, and I try to recycle that. Even my new collection is all about that as well, for
All
this
right.
year and that year. Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's so
so,
nice
see,
to know.
you are, through your work, you're also promoting the artisans, and you're
Mm-hmm.
developing their skills, you're training them up, and they're earning a living out of that. That's also sustainability out there.
Right.
And
All
you're
right.
somehow someone's life is changing out there, you see, and that's a social development. Maybe you're
True. True.
developing a small community, and that is how it's gonna spread. Maybe one person is doing that, and some other person, when they're seeing, okay, this person is doing this, they might be following that person, get
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
inspired by that person. That is how it spreads. So fashion, basically, we can use that for empowerment, and that's how it's being used
All
here
right.
as well, and
Mm-hmm.
to so many other Asian countries. Yeah.
Okay. So how long are you into this industry? Like how long you're into sustainable fashion?
Okay. Well, I started really early, and that time I was just doing my O levels and A levels. I didn't even appear
Mm-hmm.
for that. I just completed my +9, and then I went straight away for doing my diploma, and
Uh-huh.
that's when I got the break. The break, and I got awarded as the best designer. That was back
Mm-hmm.
in 2003. Yeah,
Okay.
and 2002 I started, and my first thing that I did was an exhibition. I attended the exhibition,
Mm-hmm.
and
All right.
that was the first break towards media.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever I designed, I worked with denim. I combined denim
Okay.
with hand painting and artisans, the
Mm-hmm.
fusion
Mm-hmm.
as well, and that's how it caught the eye of the media, and
All right.
that's how I came into the limelight. That's when the journey
All right.
started, and I even got
So in
scholarship.
7 years, I could say now you're in the international market now.
Yeah, that's what I had always dreamed of. Like when I was in standard 5, that is when I decided, yeah, I will be a designer. I tried to
Wow,
research.
that's so nice.
I researched 3 more years, and then when I was in class,
Fantastic. Fantastic.
yeah, this is what I am going to be. I am going to be an international level designer in future,
Wow. Wow.
and I'm gonna work that out. I was very much also inspired by Bibi Russell.
Uh-huh.
She's a famous designer from our country. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's so nice. Like, to hear such kind of inspirational women right now. There are very
Hmm.
few women who are so much successful.
Yeah,
So,
they are.
following
It's a
this kind of a
challenging
woman, like,
profession.
all right. So, how did you like get into this kind of like service activities? So, what kind of activities you do towards
Okay.
promoting fashion and like empowering the women? Like, what are the activities you do?
Okay. Well, apart from designing, I'm also in styling, and when I talk of being a beautician, what I enjoy most
Mhm.
is doing the makeup.
Beautifying someone.
Yeah. So whenever I work, I just combine it all together. That is how my client wants as well. It's
All
like
right. Right.
one-stop solution. You go to a person and you get a package there. Okay, maybe there is
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
show. I did a lot of events and I'm into it still. Now
Mhm.
it's Corona time. Everyone, is They heard about their health issues and all. Even I am as well. So I'm going slow now. But yeah, my
All
shows
right.
are come up pretty soon. Anyways, where I
Very
was
well.
there, I kind of lost it. So as I was saying, um, so what happens is that suppose there is an event and there I covered
Mhm.
the design. At the same time, sometimes I do choreography as well. It depends.
Mhm.
I had been
Okay.
working with magazines since 2003. I started out
Mhm.
as a writer. I used to work for as a freelancer for a
Mhm.
magazine abroad, and then for
Mhm.
some newspaper locally. And then the very recent one was I was working for a magazine, local international magazine, for so many
Okay.
years. But you know how it is the situation now, so it's a bit the work is a bit
All
sad
right. All
now.
right.
Anyways, so whenever I work, even when I went to London, in there I work with photographers, I work with magazines, and I
Mhm.
participated as designer. I participated at certain competitions, and I won
Mhm.
certain competitions that like among top five and all.
Right. All
That
right. Right.
happened. Yeah, and that was that time it was my graduation, collection, and it was
Okay.
all about recycling.
Okay.
Okay, I used
Student
to
collection.
there too. Yeah. So whenever I work, I try to combine that, and my clients they already know that. Yeah, if we call her, we're gonna get the dress, we're gonna get the makeup, and also the styling. So
It's a
okay, let's
package
call her.
combo.
It's a package. Yeah,
All
I
right.
haven't worked for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I mean, I also
Mhm.
do design. I'm a Western designer, so I do for
Mhm.
male as well. So I
Okay.
designed for the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He's a big shot. His Asaduddin Noor. I designed for him and styled
Mhm.
the outfits for him for the show.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's so happy that you like to witness a female designer who can like design for men as well. So a rare combination actually. All right. So
Yeah.
how many years you were there in London?
Oh no, it's not a long time. I'm not gonna
All
count
right.
when yeah. When I was an infant, I was there, with my
Mhm.
parents and all. But when I grew up, things are different when I grew up, right? So it's totally
Sure,
different
sure.
when you go there and you explore. I
No,
didn't stay for
the
a long
question why I
time,
ask
and
you,
then
the
we
question why
moved
I
up.
ask you is that like, how did you feel the fashion in London? The Britain and the fashion in Asian countries, like Bangladesh or India or any Asian countries. So what is the difference you see in the terms of fashion?
Yeah, there's difference in terms of the selection of colors. We know they are more
Hmm.
into a different kind of color range rather than us. We are more
Okay.
into color. A lot of colors are there, and
All right.
but
All
they're
right.
not. They're into that when during
Hmm.
the summertime they're into colors. But
Okay.
most of the time they choose colors like dark tone colors like black
Hmm.
and gray. They go for those colors most of the
Okay.
time. So there's a huge difference out there, and the kind of material they use is not the same as we use.
Hmm. Okay.
It's a country where it's cold most of the time, right? So they were really heavy clothes. They use wool.
Hmm.
The kind of material they use is different at the same time. So if we
Okay.
actually want to enter into their market, so we have to study their market first.
Hmm.
Okay, what interests them? That's how we
All
can
right.
enter into their market. Maybe
We need to
during
understand
summer,
them.
yeah, like we have khadi, so we can even use khadi in a very creative way, and we can
Hmm.
restyle that. Bring certain changes in terms of pattern, and that is how we can interpret that into their fashion as well. Turn
All
it
right.
into
All right.
a really smart and beautiful overcoat. And maybe tie dye or
Yeah.
add some values to that. They don't always wear something very glittery, and but yeah, when they
Mhm.
goes out for certain parties to attend certain events, that is when they add a bit of that.
All right. Okay. So what are your plans for the future in terms of like empowering women through fashion? Like, what are the plans you have got?
Okay. Well, so far, I have the plan that to combine fashion with
Hmm.
empowerment and at the same time working for
Sustainable.
social changes. Social
All right.
changes. Hmm.
Mhm.
And bringing in that sustainable change at the same time. The sustainable development at the same time.
That's
So
more
it's like
important. Yeah.
merging them together. And if you know, like 2 years back, I had been to Nepal, and there I
Mhm.
carried. I really thank them. They are really beautiful, helpful, and very generous people that I came
Yeah.
across. And yeah, I feel like, thanking some of them, some of them that I met. And I work with some organizations there, like
Uh-huh.
NIWF and few other organizations. Need one. I work with them as a designer, as a trainer,
Mhm.
um,
Okay.
and they were very helpful, very cooperative. I'd love to mention some names like yes, madam, and then I'm getting kind of emotional.
Oh,
and
it's always good to like mention when and wherever possible. The good people who are with us. The good people who are back
yeah,
with us.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, yeah.
All
Fortunately,
right.
I attended there at an
Mm-hmm.
Asian Women Conference. I was selected
Mm-hmm.
as a delegate from Bangladesh, from one of the social organization here. I thank them as well for giving me such a wonderful opportunity. It was fully funded, and that is when I got to learn about, the drawbacks, the kind of challenges the women are facing out there.
All right.
They lack these creative skills. So that is when I thought, okay, fine. I already took my stuff. Like I have to somehow do this. I already took my stuff, my luggage full of those rather than my cups. I put all the materials, everything, even the glue,
Uh-huh.
everything. And then I
Okay.
went to market there. I did a lot of survey there, and I
Mm-hmm.
collected the leftover fabrics.
All right.
Small small pieces of fabric from the markets,
Mm-hmm.
and then I
Mm-hmm.
used those to design jewelry, and those were
Okay.
done by the village women there. So, like
Uh-huh.
a pilot project, I carried it
You
out.
mean
And
jewelry is made of fabrics, isn't it?
sorry,
Jewelry is made of fabrics. Is that you
yes,
do?
yes, fabrics, yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's so nice. That's so nice.
So wherever I
All
go,
right.
I try to use their elements at the same time
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
blend it together. I carry my materials, and at the same time, I introduce their materials, their favorites. So it's a combination of both. That is when something different can come up, right? And
Oh,
the ladies were really very much hardworking. At a very early morning, they came. Some of them they came with their babies, and but they're still ready to learn. They have that interest.
wow.
They want to do something. They want to acquire that skill so that they can get to learn something new, and they can also utilize that in
That's a
future.
great positive
What I
attitude.
have in my mind, yeah. So during March I wanted to be there, but unfortunately
Mm-hmm.
because of Corona, things were different. I'm still waiting when things to get better so that I
Cool,
can
cool,
go
cool.
there,
No
carry on
worries.
the
Like
same
very
thing.
soon, in like the corona pandemic will get over, and you can restart it. And India is
And I want to
like
do the
open for
same
you.
thing in your country, India as well.
Yeah, India is
Yes.
open for you. Always welcome.
Thank you. So in that
All right.
way, I want to do it in Nepal and then in India, like that,
Mm-hmm.
covering certain Asian countries. Then I have
All right.
interest
All
for
right.
Africa. Let's see what happens. You know, what the thing is, whatever I learned, whatever I'm good at, or whatever
Mm-hmm.
skill I have, I'd love to share that with people who need them the most. And yes,
Yes.
turn that into a social business so
All right.
that can be beneficial to them.
All right. All right.
Yes,
Perfect.
that's my
So
that's
before
what I
I
would do.
move on to the next episode,
Uh-huh.
let me have a coffee. Huh? Since
Oh
the
yeah,
show was
yeah.
like on the coffee table, huh? No, the show is on the coffee table. So on my table here is a coffee. So a cheers for
Yeah, yeah.
you.
Unfortunately, I'm allergic to coffee these days for last few years. I really miss that, and I stopped
So
taking
actually,
soda.
I
I try
actually
to maintain.
become addict to coffees now.
Mm-hmm.
After like starting this show, no, on the coffee
Uh-huh.
table, I become addict to the coffees now.
Okay. Mm.
All
Uh,
right. So, as we were discussing about your, activities expanding to different Asian countries. So, what are the ways people can approach you?
okay.
What are the
Yeah.
platforms you're available?
Yeah, I have my website, though it's for now it's being reconstructed right now.
All right.
I have
All right.
my website, I have my page, and very
Mm-hmm.
soon, hopefully, I'm gonna start my channel. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I have Instagram, so there are so many
All
ways they
right.
can approach me, and there's LinkedIn as well. Yeah,
Okay.
I get approached with so
So,
with that from these platforms as well, and through email.
mhm,
I've got my email
okay.
there, and
All
I've
right.
got a
So after this show, like I would request you to provide your contact details. Where
mm-hmm,
people can reach you, your social media handles, so people can
mm-hmm,
easily reach you and discuss about it. Because people
mm-hmm.
from different part of the country, like they're watching you.
Yeah,
So people from like Germany, people from Spain, people from the Philippines, everywhere,
right.
people are watching the
Yes.
show. So people who are
Mm-hmm.
like-minded can reach you, and you can expand. So
Yeah,
that's where your dream gonna explore bigger.
yeah,
And
right.
Stylia is with
Absolutely
you
right.
always. So you carry like Stylia in Bangladesh, and Stylia will carry you in rest of the countries. So you can
Uh-huh.
explore your services and your skills. So let's
Yes,
together reach out to the more people who are needed.
yes, yes. That would be more wonderful. I would love to. That
All
is
right.
how we grow, isn't it? Yeah.
So now we like for people who are watching, who are
Mm-hmm.
show organizers or who are designing institutions. So different kind
Mm-hmm.
of people are watching the show. So if
Yes.
people want to connect with you, like what are
Mm-hmm.
the forms you would like to connect with them? In what way they
Mm-hmm.
can collaborate with you?
Okay. Since it's Corona time these days, and they can
No,
collaborate
post
me
corona,
through.
post corona, post corona.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. As I mentioned, they can approach me through pages, and I'm available at Instagram
Yeah,
and
yeah,
LinkedIn.
they'll reach you through your social media. My question
Mm-hmm.
is, in what way you're trying to collaborate with them? In what are the ways
Oh,
you can
okay.
collaborate? In terms of training, in terms of skill development, in terms of empowerment, in terms of
Mm-hmm.
shows, like exhibitions. In what are the
Mm-hmm.
ways you're planning to
Yeah,
collaborate?
I'm open for fashion shows, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm open for
Mm-hmm.
fashion shows, attending
All right.
events, or collaborating so that we can carry out certain training sessions, be it online or offline, whichever works the best, depending on
Okay.
situation, obviously. I'm
All
open
right.
for all those sectors. And
All
since
right.
I'm also into the beauty industry, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
even open for that. If they want a master class, it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
If they want a
All right.
session, that can be done, or a workshop for a few weeks, that can be done as well. It all depends. I'm
Okay.
ready to collaborate and I'm open for that. Even I'm ready to
Well.
collaborate with other institutes. Maybe it can be, by offering a certificate as well at the same time.
Ha.
That can
Yes.
happen. I'm open for that. Absolutely, I'm open
Because
for all
there
that.
are many institutions who work literally like so hard to uh, penetrate the market
Hmm.
with no big like promotions or no much of investment for like commercial stuffs, but though
Hmm.
they look forward for quality people to collaborate with them in providing in terms of providing knowledge to the students. So
Yes.
such kind
Yeah,
of
I'd love to be the
institutions can
resource person. Yeah, I would love to
all
be the
right,
resource person for that. Be working as a
very good.
consultant or a fashion stylist. I'm open for all that. I have few
That's so
skills,
fantastic. That's
so I can connect, no issues with that. And since I
all right.
had been into writing as well, so if it's something like they want me to write for them, be it about
All right.
fashion or beauty, or if it is about social development, I'm there, no issues.
Wonderful, wonderful. So a multifaceted woman over here. So Farah is open for any kind of a collaboration in terms of like providing her knowledge. So people will
Yes.
like rush up, reach up to her, and let's explore bigger way. So soon, huh?
Yeah, I
So I
also
hope you
welcome
like
the organizations, the NGOs. I welcome them as well because see, it's
all right,
interlinked. Yeah.
fantastic, fantastic. So very soon, like we are hoping that like the COVID situation has to get over, and we
Hmm.
start back. Like we resume back to the works, and many shows comes up, and many like training sessions and workshops to be conducted, where
Right.
people understand what exactly is required. And because like nowadays fashion business has become so much commercial that people
Yeah.
doesn't come up with good initiatives, new initiatives.
Hmm.
So
Right.
these kind of
Right.
stuffs, will like improvise the quality of the fashion and will
Hmm.
increase the amount of entrepreneurship. That's how I
Hmm.
believe. So
Yeah.
people like
Yeah.
you should always come forward and give your knowledge so that like many people get benefited.
Yeah, yeah, I would love to. That's what I love to do as well. And I also try to promote, those who are doing it, try to promote the
Mhm.
newcomers,
All right.
because they don't get much opportunity. And like recently, I have my this FCIC Institute.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I have this platform. It's a group. I just started really small. It's a group now,
All right.
and it's an international group. So
Uh-huh.
here is invited students who are interested for makeup. It's very much diversified one. Okay, those who are
All
interested
right.
for makeup, those who are interested for fashion, and
Mm-hmm.
those who are interested for presentation. Okay,
Oh,
for so
in
that they,
what kind of presentation is that? What kind of a presentation?
yeah, it's so that they can professionally move forward, and they can present their ideas or their
All right.
project more
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
promptly. Okay,
Okay.
and most of them are weak towards English, so they can
Mm-hmm.
practice that with me as well. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm really happy that I have students from like Philippines, from
All
Africa.
right.
It's very much diversified, even from Spain and Morocco, and I really enjoy that. Yeah, I have
That's
interest
so
to
nice.
carry competition among them, so that they can
Uh-huh.
improve. It's all about speaking. You need to have the
All right.
person to communicate
The
with.
communication is the biggest tool, which can
Yeah.
connect with your people, no ideas to the
Yes.
people.
Yeah, yeah. So that you can throw your ideas, your concept. So I'm
All right.
working on that. Everything takes
Wonderful,
time.
wonderful.
It's just a baby
All right.
step there. Yeah.
Anyways, anything should need an initiate. So that is more important. So whether it is small or big, like we should first, initiate things so it grows up well. It's all depends on the time and like the thoughts,
Yes.
which we have, and the right
Hmm.
team. When we connect, it automatically goes and grow bigger.
Yeah, it expands.
So
That
that's
is
how
when it
things.
expands.
All
Yeah.
right.
And
So
need to
I
work
hope like
together,
people would have
collaborate.
really enjoyed the show, and
Mhm.
providing your knowledge is more important. So very soon we'll be connecting with you once again. So people here are watching it, and we'll be
Mhm.
waiting for episode 2 with more details and more upcoming projects as well. So
Yes.
for a few words from you to the audience.
Okay, what should I say? Well, one thing I would like to say that's it's all about your hard work, confidence, and patience. No matter what, you have to stick around towards whatever you do, whatever you're good at, stick to that. We know, the things are different in our cultures, and also in some other cultures. Like sometimes parents are like, no, you have to study this, you have to do that. Okay, do your
All
one
right.
as well. Don't leave it. Don't leave your dreams. Work on that as well. If necessary, make them
Fantastic.
happy and make yourself happy too.
Oh yeah.
And whatever you're good at, work on that. And whatever is needed, add that skill into it,
All
and that
right.
is how you grow. And when you
All
grow,
right.
and maybe you can work as an entrepreneur, I don't know, whichever field you choose, or anything creative. Maybe you're good at art, don't get rid of that, work on that. One day
Exactly.
you're gonna shine. Stick to that, stick to your
It's like
dreams, no matter
topping a
what.
cream on a cake.
Yeah, whatever you're passionate about, stick to that.
All right.
And work on
Fantastic.
it,
Fantastic. So it's
and
such
spread
an
your
like
love.
inspiring words from you. So lovely, like inviting you today for this show, wonderful show. And I hope like everyone would have enjoyed it. And signing off for today. And I thank each and everyone who joined here and like watched the show. So wait for the say episode 2 from Farah. But a lot of the in details and lot many upcoming events. And yes, post Corona, everyone will have a flourishing time. So stay connected, stay positive, stay safe, stay at home. Thank you very much. Signing off for
Thanks
the
to
day.
you too. Goodbye.
Goodbye.